This is Stephanie. I thought this would be a good one for YouTube if you want some action. My son was attacked on the school bus by some big boy.
Faggot.
And he hit him, and Trevor did the right thing. He did not hit him back on the bus, thank God, because there's only 2 weeks of school left, and me working at the school as long as I did as an officer, I know he would have got expelled. So, move your finger. So I went to go speak to the parent as an adult to tell her that this needs to be resolved or we were following charges, and their son just cussed me and called me an F&B and called my sister an F&B, and then he comes out into the street. We never went on their property. Travis, I'm going to break your finger. We went out into the property. I mean, we never crossed their property line. We're not stupid, but the son came out, took a swing at Trevor, and oh my God, I wish I would have got it on tape, because Trevor cold cocked him right in the face, and the boy took off running back into the yard. So I have now called the police. We're waiting on them to file assault charges. We'll try to get it on tape. Okay. Cops are here. I'm waiting for them to walk in.
No, get in your room.
Hello?
Go in your room. Hey, go in your room.
Alright, then just leave her alone. I don't want fighting.
Don't say anything.
Not a word.
I will do that. Don't happen. You say anything to that, you go ruin it all. Move.
Oh, is he here? Oh, come on in. Hi.
Hello. Oh, cool. We got to take this today. Where are these things in?
They're mine.
From work.
How are you?
Good. What can I do for you?
Yeah, all that right.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. My son was on the school bus.
Which one are we talking about?
It's right here, the little one.
Okay.
And he was, I'm sorry, not the little one. I can't say her.
The other one.
The other one, there's that.
Okay.
And he was speaking to another guy on the bus. Guys will be guys, they make fun of each other, you know, whatever. There was no problem. The boy's brother, who is a grade or 2 ahead of him.
What is their names? Francisco and Andrea.
Andres didn't do anything.
Okay.
It was Francisco. Francisco looked at Trevor. You tell the story because you...
Alright. Well, what happened was, I was just, Andreas, he was fighting with some other kids, so he came back there, and so he kept on staring.
Not like fighting on you.
Yeah, they were just yelling at each other, and so he kept on staring at me, Travis, and some girl, like, so I looked at him, and I was like, is this something you need? And then, like, we just started, like, playing around, and then, like, and then his brother, he asked me if I was retarded and gay, and so then I started talking back to him, and then right before he got off the bus, he walked over, and he just goes, like that, and like, give me like this.
He had a red mark on the side of his face.
Okay. And I stood up and yelled, but I didn't hit him, because I did not want to get in trouble, because school is almost over, and I don't want to get in trouble or anything. I told him, I'm going to come down to your house, and we're going to resolve this. That's all I said.
So I went down there to speak to the mother.
Okay.
My name's Trevor.
Sure.
To go down there to
That's
try
the
to...
right thing to do to me.
Right, because, you know, he's got about the best of this kid, and I
How
don't
did
know...
that go down there?
Oh, I didn't want to go on the property, because I know I tell me to go on the property, and I didn't want Trevor to go on the property, and I said, Travis, since you're not involved, would you mind knocking on the door, making sure this is his home? We weren't even sure. And asked him to come outside. So he knocked on the door, and he said, does Francisco live here?
Yeah.
And they said, yeah. And Trevor said, can y'all come outside, because someone will talk to you.
Sure.
They come outside, and we're just standing, you know, like our car was in the street.
We're in the middle of the street.
Yeah, we're in the middle of the street. Because we didn't want to go on their property and then say that, you know, we were doing anything wrong. So he comes out, and I said, we need to get something resolved, Francisco, because you assaulted Trevor. And I could have you arrested for that, and I want this to be fixed. And, oh my God, he started, do I have a little kiss in here?
Y'all need to go in
Y'all go in y'all's room.
Go.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, because of the words. Please.
We're talking about Francisco's brother, right?
Right.
Yes, sir.
And he's 4 times
He's out there, he's like this big guy. I've known him, There's no way he could be 15 because he's
He's 16, 17, because
maybe he's 17. I'm not
We
sure.
don't know the correct age.
He's a sophomore, so he's gonna be 16 or 17.
Okay, so what did he say to you?
It's just, I mean, there were so many words. He was just like, you fucking did.
I mean, he calls us all kinds of names.
You know, I said, listen, I'm gonna call the school. You know, now you pushed it.
Was his mom or dad not?
His mother was right there, and I said,
His mom
my
actually,
sister at that point
his
said,
mom actually
"Mel."
wanted to take his watch off and
And go get it.
that.
no, he's dead.
No, his mom did.
The mom did too. So we're sitting there, and I'm just like, what the hell? You know, and my job is breaking up kids in fights. It's not anymore. I'm not at school anymore as of just this year. Cancer district and something not working. Okay. But I told Trevor, I said, you just need to be quiet and just let me, you know, and then he would hear, you know, my son would hear him look at me and say, you're just fucking security guard. You can't do that. Well, I'm going to be arrested just like anybody else. Would you like me to? You know, and I was with the mother and I said, that's where this is leading. Can we speak adults here? So then they start speaking Spanish. And I said, oh, I see. You'll come in. They shut up. I said, now, are we going to go forward and get this straight or not? And, you know, he's going, you're just, you know, an FMB, and he started on her.
And mom and just went back and forth.
It was just back and forth.
And then
And
I
I
was telling
finally
him,
said, please call the police.
well, when he finally called me, when I told you he called me, he told him, you don't comment on that, and the next thing you know, this big
Back
boy
out of the yard.
took off his watch and charged him from nowhere, and I guess he swung at him, hit him in the arm, and he swung back.
He defended himself
And
at this point.
He actually got a hit on him, and I don't know, scared the boy, he backed off.
He ran back into the yard.
He charged
They
me.
charged after him, and
And
that's
all-
a normal instant. I mean, you're
Did
gonna,
it hurt when he hit you?
he did have a red mark.
Yeah, because
He had a-
I didn't think he was gonna do it. He just goes out and slaps me across the face. And so he come and charged out of nowhere, and you go down there and talk to him.
What did the bus driver do?
He didn't have anything, and I am gonna, I don't think he saw tomorrow, because he doesn't need to.
Did you tell the bus driver? How many people witnessed this happen?
I got up and I yelled, so everyone saw me do it.
Gus was
Yeah, Gus.
Trevor did get up and yell and say, I'm coming to your house.
Well, how many people saw you get hit?
Several people
I
that
mean, a lot of it.
How many kids at what point saw him walk up and get Trevor? So we got the names on.
Okay.
And we got that video.
What do you want to do with this?
I
Are you wanting to file
Yes,
a report?
I am, because I tried to resolve it, and they're saying, you came up in my yard yelling. I said, ma'am, if I was in your yard yelling, the whole neighborhood would hear me. I'm being very rational. I'm trying.
You're going to be shocked when you see how big this child is and the way he was talking, honestly.
I mean,
What is your name?
my name is Stephanie. I might spell it like that. It might be easier for you to read it on the air.
And your birthday?
1/25/69.
Are you going to notify the school?
Oh, yes.
And
I'm going to call Stephanie Miss Cotton. And I'm going to let her know, and
I let you said they have video on the bus?
yes.
Close video,
Fabulous.
I got close to hitting him, but I wasn't going to. I even said it. I said I'm not going to hit you because I don't want to get in trouble.
And Trevor did say, I am coming to your house. And I said, I understand that, but I'm going because we're going to work out.
So let me just recap for you, Trevor. Sit on the bus, mouthing off or whatever in a playful manner. He turns around, starts mouthing you, you start mouthing him. Stops. He gets off the bus, backhands you on the face, right?
Was it clear?
I was sitting behind him. So the bus came up to the stop. He turned around and actually walked towards me. And he said one more thing, and then he backhanded me.
What did he say?
I don't really.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and then that's when I started yelling.
And the bus driver didn't say a word? I don't think he saw it.
And then after he slapped you, you stood up, I'm assuming in a defensive position, and almost complied but never swung.
Yeah.
And did he swing anymore? Did he hit anymore?
He got off the bus, and I started coming to your house, and he's like, go ahead and do it. You won't do nothing. Because he's a lot bigger than me. pretty sure he thought he could just do whatever he wanted.
Do you have any injuries that?
Come here, let me see your face. That's really
I don't think your jaw was broken or anything.
No.
What side? It was on his right side.
That's the left side then.
Oh, I'm looking at my right side. This is a lot, I'm losing my mind. Oh, you look, I was gonna say, well, this side looks red, this doesn't. No, look at his face, it's still red. Look. You can clearly see a handprint.
Well, when you have an open hand, it will leave a mark more than a closed hand. Like
Because it was, yeah, like if I step on the leg, it's gonna stay more.
It really doesn't make a difference whether it was closed or open.
Right, it's still an
Still
assault.
unwanted contact,
Yeah.
it's an assault.
That's an assault, that's what I told the mother, and I said, do you really want, didn't I? Over and over, I kept saying, do you really want me to file assault charges?
The mother,
And I wasn't gonna until he swung at me again.
the mother didn't care. She told her son to take off the watch and get him. Look how small he is.
And I was just like, well, of course, and then I go running up to him, because my natural instinct is to break it up. But I didn't have to, because when Trevor did hit him,
He backed off.
he took off running back into his yard.
So when you hit him, where did you hit him at?
Because what,
He's like, he's
this much farther than
he
me,
got
and
mental.
about this much wider than me,
I think.
so like,
It might have been.
so like when
You swung with a fist, right?
yeah, because he went like that, and he like hit me in the arm.
Well, he went like this. He came running and he went like that. And I want to say he hit him in the arm, maybe the neck. It was like this last.
And then I went like that, and I hit him right here.
He was actually trying to hit him last.
And that, yeah, it was.
And Trevor defended himself. Is that wrong?
No.
Okay. And we was not in their yard. The guy came out into the street because we did not enter his yard. No, but, yeah. Can I file charges on her?
Yes.
Because I come out, my sister, celebrating my car shut all the time, and I go to work and I can't get in my car.
That's just funny is what that is.
It's bullshit. Try to go out your front door and run into cellophane.
I saran wrapped his car, so
She's the terrorist neighbor.
What do you want to do?
Firecrackers at my window.
not only can I like to saran wrap it around that way, you could go around the other way, it makes it even harder to
You
take
I
out.
can file charges on her.
I think she uses about 10 boxes.
We were in Walmart, and we came out.
I came out from Walmart. My car was
That's just
Are you
the fun.
serious?
You know what's better? It's just,
You did it in the middle of Walmart.
I did.
just get easy.
I toilet papered her out, but the problem was I had a little bit too much to drink and I kept falling. But not only that, I knocked on her door. She was asleep, and her son and my son and I was toilet paper. I used her own toilet paper to finish toilet paper in her house.
Very good. Very good.
Because it was funny. She was
They were going, they said, Mom, you can't say that. She just lived up the street. She's going to go to jail for public intoxication. I said, that's why I get her house, I'm not.
She's never as good as I am. Her jokes can never be.
I know!
Just come to us. We have good ideas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's do it.
yeah.
Yeah, let's
I
do it.
promise y'all that it will never be as good.
I'll get
We
you one.
had the front door.
I promise you that I will get you one day.
I can't do that joke.
That's great, that home.
Oh,
All right, I'm going to go talk to this guy.
well, thank you for coming and